Before this video starts, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are trying to hit 150,000 subscribers by the 1st of May. And as of right now, it's looking like we're going to be there or thereabouts. We are only 8,000 off. So yeah, if you guys like my team content and aren't subscribed, subscribe for most my team content on YouTube. But anyway, now let's get on to the video. What is going on, guys? DBG here, and it is the 1st of the month. So you know what that means? It means that we are right back with the tier list videos. So these are obviously the most watched videos on the channel. So over the next 5 days, we're going to be doing, well, depending on if there's a big content drop. So if there's a big content drop, we'll probably skip a day, but sometime between now and Friday or Saturday, we'll go through all 5 of the positions. Then we're going to do our top 5 most overpowered cards, which we've done every month since November 2018, back in 2K20. And then also, we are going to, during the middle of the month, do a overall tier list, as well as a budget tier list, and then from maybe the 15th, 16th, we're going to go right back into the brackets to find out who the best individual player is at each position. So we have a couple of series going at the minute and a couple of things at the start of each month. So just so that there's a little bit of structure in the channel, that's what we're going to be doing. So anyway, we're going to start off this. I'm going to start off this by saying some of your favorite players might be in B tier or lower, because let's be real, this is just chaos. 2K's mayhem. Every single card they're releasing is good. So it seemed like if a card was released 3 weeks ago, it's not great. But yeah, so anyway, now let's get on to it. First up, Jamorant. So Jamorant's good. He's good. Like, he shoots the ball really well, dunks really well, plays decent defense. So I'm going to put him in kind of in A tier. I do like Jamorant. Do I think he's anything up? Do I want to put him in A or B tier? Like, he's definitely a usable, more than usable card at any level. I'm going to put him in A tier for now, basically, because he's got everything you need. He's got range extender, he can dunk, he can shoot the ball. He's got, I think he's got gold clamps. Overall, like, he only has 13 Hall of Fame badges, but he's got like Dimer and stuff. Defense, he's not going to be great. Only got silver downhill. I'm going to keep him A tier for now, but I might move him down. Lonzo Ball going down into B tier. A lot of people really do like Lonzo Ball. I am not a fan in the slightest. I do not think the card is good at all. Again, I might be in the minority here, but I can't use his release. Straight up, I got rid of him. He's a good defender, but I can't use release. Like, I would rather use Alex Caruso than him, because even though Caruso doesn't have range extender, Caruso can still hit a jump shot. I could not score with Lonzo in every game I used him. Great at going to the basket. He's quick and a fantastic defender. Also got good height. His release is just not very good. So it's not absolutely broken. I just don't think it's good enough to put him in the upper echelon of the point guards. So Jeremy Lin, if this was even a week ago, I would have probably put him in S. I'm going to put him into A tier. Jeremy Lin, when he's evoed to Pink Diamond, is exceptional as well. Again, a fantastic shooter, a good dunker. He's fast. He's basically like, imagine Jamorant, but better at everything. He's basically Ja, but he can do every single thing better than Ja, except maybe dunk. But Lin's super quick, super good release. Can shoot from deep, can lock people down with Hall of Fame clamps, got like Hall of Fame Dimer for general. So a really, really good card. Then we got Big O. Big O is kind of similar to Lonzo. I'm going to put him down in C tier because I just find his release is a little bit not good. I think it's a bit iffy. I struggle to score with him. Decent in the post, but not as good as he has been previously. Can't really guard people on the switch. No range extender, but overall, like, he's an alright card. He was a really good card when he came out in December, but it's been over 2 months and he's just a little bit outclassed at this stage. Then we got Kobe White, who I'm going to put down here into C tier. He's got no range extender. His badges aren't great. They're not bad. Like, don't get me wrong, like, his badges are not bad in the slightest. I just don't think they are anything spectacular, because I don't know, I think I've used this card. I've used the card a few times, and I don't think he's up to the level that you'd want from a high tier card. But look, not the biggest deal in the world. Still a good enough card, but again, would not really use him. Wouldn't call him like competitively viable. He's just like a worse version of he's a worse version of Alex Caruso. Then we got Nate Robinson, who he can do everything that Jeremy Lin and Jamorant can do, except he's 5'9". And being 5'9" is definitely a disadvantage. So obviously you Height isn't as big a deal as it is as it has been in previous years, but like we all know, height is still a big factor. So Nate Robinson, no question about it, is gonna go down here in the B tier. He has the stats and badges of an A tier player, but he's got the height of a D tier player, so I'm gonna put him in B tier. I think I would take Robinson over Oscar Robertson and White. I just still don't think he belongs any higher in C tier. Alex Caruso is also going to C tier. Caruso got elite defense, Hall of Fame quick first step, shoots the ball really well, except he can't shoot from deep. Only problem is no range extender. If he had range extender, he'd be well up here in A tier, maybe the upper echelon of A tier, but for his price, you cannot go around with Caruso. And we're going to go with Reggie Jackson, who I'm going to put into D tier. Reggie Jackson, he's got some okay points. He's an alright defender, he's an alright shooter. He's not a great dunker, but he can dunk. He does get really good speed. Problem with Reggie Jackson is that he's got no quick first step, which means he's hard to get a shot off with. Not awful, but not good. Not good either. He would get torched by even these two guys. Then we have Billups, who I'm going to put Billups in A tier. Like, in my opinion, arguably the best shooting point guard in the game. He's an absolutely fantastic shooter, a really solid defender. He's got dimer, so he does really well. Like, he's one of the best diamond point guards in the game, if not the best diamond in the game. For his price, you cannot go wrong. He's actually gone up a little bit in price, but when he was like 2-3 KMT, you could not go wrong with Chauncey Billups. We got D Brown, who I'm going to put down into C tier. You guys might be a little bit confused about why D Brown is C and not in B. But the thing is, he's not very good at being a point guard. He's got like no dimer, no floor general. Yet, when he gets fully up, like obviously these cards are Nate Robinson full evo to pink diamond, Jeremy Lin full evo to pink diamond, him full evo to amethyst. He's got range extender, he's got clamps, he's got quick first step, Hall of Fame. So you know what, he can flat out score, but working as an actual point guard is something that I don't think he's great at. So that's why he's in C tier. Also going to C tier is Dante Exum. He's probably a slightly worse version of Kobe White. Similar enough level to Oscar Robertson. If we get a range extender Exum, I'm telling you, it's going to be a fantastic card, especially one that can dunk. Really good animations, but nah, was really good again when he came out as just outclassed. Like, I'm pretty sure he came out in, I think he might have been the last moments of the week. I think I could be wrong with that, but he was either I think he was the last or second last moments of the week card. So he was the second last moments of the week, which was, I think, the very start of January. So he's been out he's been out around 2 months at this stage, just a little bit outclassed. Then we got Kyle Lowry, who is going to go into B tier. I do not think Kyle Lowry is quite as good as these guys here, but Kyle Lowry is still really good. Yeah, again, outdated. Came out on the 23rd of December. He is outdated. He was like 20-30k, and he was like a similar John Stockton, but I actually prefer Lowry. Still is really good. Like, I've used them against some players where I still dominate. Like, I used him in the All-Star Challenge with Afro Pig and dominated. He can still hold his own against anybody. He's just better options for cheaper right now, so he's going to be in B tier. Next we have Jet Terry, and Jet is going right beside Kyle Lowry, because what I always used to say was like Kyle Lowry and Jet Terry was all preference. I genuinely didn't could not say who was better. I used both of them, and back when they were like 25-30k, they were definitely the best combination to use. So these guys are both really, really good cards, and it's still a dead heat. Like, it's all personal preference who you prefer between Kyle Lowry and Jason Terry. Jet Terry has got better stats, but Kyle Lowry's got better release. Then we got Simmons, who no longer has kept his spot up in S tier. He has gone down into A tier. The reason he's dropped is that there's just better cards. There's just better options, and because there's more and more players that can guard him, like even if you run someone like a Caruso, he can somewhat guard Simmons and you just give him space. He can be a bit of a liability on the floor. Was unbelievable when he came out in the middle of December. The fact he's came out that long ago and still in A tier is crazy, but no way is Simmons S tier anymore. Mark Price is terrible, D tier, and not gonna lie, I just wanted to even out the curve. I didn't want to make sure that there was like one or no players in D, so I put in these two guys right here. Both these guys D. Mark Price can hit open jumpers, gets burned every single time. Jerry West is awful. All of those pink diamond rewards, except for Millsap and Reggie Lewis, and still, right now, neither of them are very good either. There is no pink diamond reward that's very good right now. But yeah, they're both D tier. Next up is Trae Young, who's going C tier. So Trae Young. You guys might be kind of confused about why I'm putting him down in C tier, because yeah, he's a great shooter, one of the best shooters in the game. He's got no clamps. Straight up. That's the only reason why. He's got no clamps. You got no clamps, you get burned by it. You get burned every single time. Like, if you look up above him, there is not a single player. I'm pretty sure Mark Price is the only other player on this list without clamps. And a single player above him that doesn't have clamps. Most of the guys above him have Hall of Fame clamps. So, yeah, he can shoot from deep. But he can't cut the bats. Like, he can't dunk, can't defend, doesn't have clamps. Sure, he can shoot, but like, shooting is not enough to get above C tier. Does not matter. He's 98 overall. Some of you guys that use him, he might be your favorite player because he can flat out score. But I'm telling you, if I ever come up against this Trae Young, I will completely abuse him. Then we've got Dame Lillard, who, well, Trae Young is here. Dame Lillard is going into B tier. I'll say A tier. Dame Lillard is like, he's basically like a Jeremy Lin, but slightly worse or better, depending on if you prefer his animations. Again, everything I said about Jeremy Lin applies for Dame Lillard. It's all personal preference. Then we've got LeBron James, our first S tier player right here. So LeBron James, a really good shooter. He's 6'8". He can play in the post. He can play in the perimeter. He can switch everything. He can do everything. Like, I assume we all know exactly what LeBron James does. He's LeBron James. He is arguably the best player to ever pick up a basketball, and in my opinion, he is. And he can do everything, and he can also play the point guard position. So there's a reason why Simmons is down there, because Simmons is nothing compared to LeBron. And even there are guys like Caruso and Exum and stuff, and Lonzo that can kind of hold Simmons a little bit, but there's nobody that's completely stopping LeBron. If a person knows how to use LeBron, all I'm going to say is best of luck. Best of luck against him. Good thing is that not a lot of people know how to use LeBron. They just kind of use him as a big point guard, but even still, he's great. But if someone really knows how to use LeBron, it's going to be a struggle. Then we got Stephon Marbury, and he is going into A tier. So Marbury, a really good card, shoots the ball really well. He's basically the equivalent of Pink Diamond Derrick Rose. They are almost even. And if you guys want to wonder where Pink Diamond, or if you guys want to know where Pink Diamond Rose would be, he's not on it. He's only doing one per card. He would be there as well. But Marbury, again, just like Lillard, just like Lin, it's personal preference. Like, literally, that's it. Like, I'd probably take Lin over all of them, but again, it's close. I'd probably take Marbury over Lillard as well. But again, it's all just preference, or at least they all do the same thing. They all dunk, they all play defense, they're all super fast, they all quick first step, they all have range extender. It is just preference. Then we have got Walt Frazier, who, if Walt Frazier had range extender, he'd be a god. He's got a really good release, fantastic on defense, really good dunk, can burn people. But again, the problem is that no range extender. No range extender keeps him off the top 2 tiers. I'd say he's better than Caruso. He's probably the best point guard in the game without range extender, except for me. Actually, no, sorry, Simmons exists. Second best point guard in the game without range extender. Really, really good card. Just again, that one specific badge keeps him off the elite tier. But if you have him and you like using them, there's no need to sell him, because while I definitely would take all these guys above him over him, he's a really good card. And then we have got, as I always say, the broken Gary Payton. He is so broken, he needs to go to the lake of reincarnation to be fixed. He is so broken, he needs to be permanently deleted from the game. Gary Payton is awful. Like, I remember using him. And this is like in December when I was trying to get Giannis. I remember trying to use him in my squad, and he was just like awful. I'm trying to think of who I was using instead of him. Like, I know, like, this is before I got Kyle Lowry. Like, this is before I even got like Jet Terry. I took Jet Terry, was a couple of weeks later. I'm trying to even think who I was using a point guard at that stage. I know for a fact I was using Jeff Petrie over him. I was using obviously Oscar Robertson over him, but I was using like Rubies over him basically. I was using Devontae Graham's Ruby. It was crazy. But yeah, this guy's bad. Baron Davis is going to go into B tier. So Baron Davis is basically similar to Stephon Marbury, Lillard, or Lin, just worse in every way. He's got a solid release, but he's a steady shooter, which means he's going to be inconsistent. And not only does he have steady shooter, he has it at silver, which is really, really bad. But other than that, still a somewhat usable card, but I'd say with the likes of Lin and stuff, you don't see Baron Davis much anymore. I think once we get a better Pink Diamond Baron Davis or an Opal Baron Davis, we're going to get a really, really good card because his animations are fantastic, but outdated because he was the November reward for going 12-0, and as well as being outdated, he's just that steady shooter badges killer. CP3 is going into B tier. Can't really dunk. He's got, like, even though he has a 75 dunk, he's not the best dunker. I think he's just a worse Chauncey Billups. I've used him a good bit. I've tried to like him. It's the best CP3 we've ever had, but is he really good in this game? Probably not. I mean, yeah, Chris Paul is not awful. He's usable, but at the same time, if I asked you if you'd use Chris Paul or any of these guys above him, I would take all the guys above him 100% of the time. Chris Paul is good, but he does still have some weaknesses, and he's a little bit undersized. Kyrie Irving, B or C. I'm gonna put him in B tier. Kyrie's not bad. Kyrie's not bad at all. He's not very good either though. Like, he's an alright defender. They gave him clamps, thankfully. Going to the basket, he's gonna be alright. Shooting, he's decent. Release, I don't know what they did with Kyrie's release this year, but it's nowhere near as good as it has been in previous years. But yeah, no, he still belongs in B tier. Not quite low enough for C tier, but it's the worst year for a while with Kyrie. So Derrick Rose is going into S tier. Derrick Rose is basically Lillard / Marbury / Lin, but way better. He's got one of the best release for a point guard in the game. He's got perfect speed, dunks on everybody. He is kind of almost perfect version of that super fast point guard. And we got Steph Curry. I'm gonna put Steph Curry in A tier. So Steph Curry, a decent dunker. He's got limitless range, obviously. A quick release, which I don't particularly like, but I know some people really do like him. He's a good defender as well. Elite defense, 97 lateral quickness, I think. He also got Hall of Fame clamps and stuff. So it's gonna be a really good card. Like, I don't dislike Steph. Like, it's hard. It's a card hard to explain. Like, it's not like I think Steph is a bad card or anything. I just think there are so many. Well, not there's so many. That there's better point guards, and even using some 2 guards at the point. Like, honestly, I don't think Steph's better than Jeremy Lin. I don't think Steph's better than Lillard. Maybe Marbury over Steph, but I've used Steph, not the biggest fan of him. Then we have got Russell Westbrook next, who I am. I'm going to put him in S tier. I'm going to put Westbrook in S tier. I really like Westbrook. That's all I'm going to say. Like, I know this is probably the most controversial placing. And again, I made an almost entire video on why I think Westbrook's better than Curry. But Westbrook, because with basically any coach and floor general, he goes up to a 99 3-pointer anyway. So like, he's basically Steph Curry with a 40-inch vertical. Excuse the Mike Orzemba meme. But now we're on to Steve Nash. Nash is kind of in the same boat as Kyrie and Chris Paul. And like, I know Chauncey Billups, you could argue, is in that boat, not really being able to dunk, but I just don't miss Chauncey Billups. So there's a reason why he's out on himself. But like, these 3 cards right here do a similar job to Billups. They all shoot the ball well, defend quite well, pass well. So Nash is kind of in that tier right there. Tony Parker is in the Billups type tier, where he doesn't really dunk very well, but because of how good his release is, he's going to be up here in A tier. He's not going to go around dunking everybody, but he's super quick, a super fast release, and is he worth 750 tokens? Not a chance, but none of the cards are worth 750 tokens with how hard it is. There's actually no point well, maybe later on in the year there'll be a point of getting all of the tokens, but as of right now, there's absolutely none. So Magic Johnson is going in here as an S tier point guard. So Magic Johnson is like a better Simmons, but a worse LeBron. I think his animations are actually the best of all 3. I think him going to the basket and his dunking is the best. I think his defense is the best. He's a 6'9" point guard. He can shoot the ball a little bit, a good mid-range shot. Problem is no range extended, but again, I think Magic is elite, especially if you're patient and you just want to play in the post of Magic. He can absolutely dominate nearly every other point guard in the game. And we got Gilbert Arenas, who again is going into the tier this tier right here. And the reason he's in that tier is he's another one of those where it's just preference. Gilbert Arenas, Pink Diamond Rose, Marbury, Lillard, Lin, they're all basically the same. It's just all preference who you prefer. Then we got John Stockton, who is going right here into B tier. John Stockton is a really, really good card as well, but he's basically Kyle Lowry. Is he usable right now? Probably not. He was fantastic when he came out, and he was fantastic until 2K. Let's be real, it was probably All-Star Weekend when 2K really started to just give us the most unrealistic cards ever. So until then, he was actually somewhat usable, but now, let's be real, there's just cards that outclassed him. And we got Penny Hardaway, who, yeah, he's got some Hall of Fame badges. His low lateral quickness is what keeps him off S tier. He's going to A tier. Still one of the best point guards in the game. Still got good height, but nah, it is just... I definitely won't be putting him up with these four. But anyway, yeah, that is the video. This is the first tier list of the month, and we got a lot of new cards. An awful lot of these cards were not in this. Were just not in the game this time last month, so it is crazy, and it'll be very, very strange to see what happens in the next month or so of this game, to see if what they start doing in like May, June. Do they just give us random positions for the same cards you already have, or is every single card going to be an opal? But you know what? As I always say, this is now Carnage, and you can either enjoy it, you can either just accept the fact that it's going to be absolute mayhem, absolute chaos, or you can complain. And while I definitely did initially complain, I just accepted at this stage. But anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.